Hi, Andrew.
Hey.
My first question for you is, you've had a successful stint with the Blue Bombers in your hometown in the West. Now you're coming to the East to the top team of last year. So how are you feeling coming to this new space?
Yeah, I mean, the different conferences. Obviously, football is football, but there is a different vibe, just from the tone, of the play styles, from east to west. Obviously the conference is a little bit, the division is a little bit smaller, so you're not competing against four teams, you're competing against three for that top spot. So things are a little tighter, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm familiar with playing obviously Hamilton quite a few times, and had some great games against all the teams in the East here. So I'm looking forward to just playing these teams, more frequently, and I'm going to enjoy those times when we get to the prairies. One thing I'm looking forward to the most is a little warmer weather, especially in those later months. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting after it in the East Coast here, and it's I'm excited for the year.
Awesome. And as a veteran, how do you continue to find ways to improve your game?
Well, for me now, it's just from the playbook standpoint. I'm just trying to figure out the offense and the guys I have playing with me, and all the things that they do great here, and just trying to add to it. Being an impact player, and just helping the guys around me be better, and finding my role within the team. So just working those small little details. I mean, I knew the Bomber playbook, like the back of my hand, and understood the guys there from a brother standpoint, and had a good relationship with them. But now for me, it's a new team, and building those bonds and brotherhood with these guys out here, and hoping having the same success we had in Winnipeg.
Awesome. My last question for you is I want to know your secret to success. What is your pre-game ritual? What do you do before you head on the field?
I go through a bit of a roller coaster. I'm really, really fired up when I get to the stadium, loud music, and kind of get jacked up. And then I kind of find, just seeing all the guys coming in, and, dapping everyone off, and loving everyone up, and getting ready to go to war. And then I kind of get back into like a Zen mode, and relax, and get my feet up, close my eyes, almost have a little bit of a nap, listen to some soft music, and just start visualizing the plays, that are on the ready list, and how the defense is going to play us. And then after I kind of go through that process, and I wrap it right back up, and I'm a firecracker, and I'm trying to get everyone going and myself going, and then a little switches in my mind and my body, and I'm ready to go out there to smash. So yeah, it's a bit of a roller coaster for me, but it's been working well. And but I mean, the biggest thing is staying loose, staying ready. And when you get out there, you don't have anything lingering, or any second thoughts about what your responsibilities are, and then getting the guys around me to be in that same level.
And I just want to ask quickly, you mentioned music. So what's your go-to song? What are you playing regularly?
I go through a bunch of different phases. Obviously, I like everything really. The only thing I don't really mess with is country music, but I go from house music to hip hop to R&B, to kind of chill, like spa type music sometimes. So
I'm gonna
just to
say
kind of,
Drake because you're in Toronto now.
what's that?
The Drake
Yeah,
now because you're in Toronto.
yeah. I mess with some Drake and the OVO crew. But I'm a big weekend fan, so when I'm doing my common times, the weekend's kind of my go-to as far as just listening to some vibe music. So like I said, yeah, I'm kind of all over the place and up and down before games, but it's an organized madness to what I do. So it's chaotic if you're looking from an outsider looking in, but my process, and I've been sticking with it. It's been working well.
Great. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Next question from Nick from Argonauts.ca.
Hey Andrew, just a question on your tenure in the league. Given your tenure, given your credentials, and given all that you've accomplished at this point now, coming into the season, given you're the one of the more senior guys on the team, where does that role of mentor sort of kind of come into play for you? And seeing the younger guys kind of come in, where do you kind of step in and kind of help those guys kind of get up to kind of your level and where you're at?
Yeah, I mean, football is a very emotional game, and I think the biggest thing for being here is just helping guys just have a better mental toughness, and dealing with that adversity. especially on offense, in training camp, the defense is always going to have the edge because they just got to react and fly around, and they have their systems or stuff they have to learn too. But as an offense, it's way more complex, and everyone has to have that timing, positioning, from the O-line to, quarterback throwing receiver balls to the running back reading the O-line. And it just takes a little bit more time to develop and get that chemistry. So, and as a young player, you can get frustrated kind of, with failure. But you got to be comfortable failing early on in this business and in this sport. And you can't make the same mistake twice. And that's the biggest lesson, is just building on each day, brick by brick, and just making sure that you're leveling up every day. And it's a process, and sometimes the younger guys get impatient, but it's a marathon, not a race. And you don't want to be peaking and going too crazy in week one. You want to keep slowly getting built better as you're getting closer to the playoffs, and then hopefully your team is at that ultimate peak, once you go into the playoffs and getting ready for that Grey Cup run. So for me, it's just taking guys on the wing and leading by example. Just little things, little details that I've kind of used from my experience in the years in the league to help calm myself down, or little tricks of the trade, how to see things, how to read things, how to handle things, and just kind of being a bit of a teacher in that way of what's worked for me. And it's not going to work for everyone else, but when someone's kind of going through some things and you can tell they're struggling or frustrated, just being that veteran leader to kind of go over there and say, hey, it's all good, man, flush it, let's move on to the next thing. And that goes with the great plays too. You can't, it's never as good as you think it is, it's never as bad as you think it is, and you just got to stay even keel as far as assessing what happened on that play, how to get better and move forward.
And if I may have just one follow-up there, you mentioned words like patience and failure. That plays a lot into the mental aspect of the game, and especially how long drawn out the season is. How does that kind of affect your game mentally, and kind of how do you kind of right the ship, so to speak? Pardon the pun, but how do you kind of right the ship, so to speak, if you're finding an off game mentally? How do you bring yourself back to that game day readiness?
Well, like I said, it's you can have a horrible practice, and we've all had them. We've had great practices, and sometimes you watch back at that great practice. You're like, yeah, that was good, but I could have done this better. When we have a bad practice, yeah, that was bad, but I could have done this better to alleviate that mistake. So again, it's just about breaking everything down and not getting too high or too low, and humbling yourself and just trying to keep that consistency as you go.